Today, with absolutely no preparation, I'm going to try to hike from the northern side of Singapore to the southern side. I've done such little preparation for this, I don't even know how long it is. I'm guessing about 30 kilometers. I'm starting in Woodlands, which is where you cross to go into Malaysia, and I'm gonna try to end in Sentosa. All right, I made it to Woodlands Waterfront Park, and that's Malaysia. That's Johor Bahru. And I never realized how close it is to Singapore. You could literally swim across. So that's the main entry point to Malaysia right there. It seems they're gonna build another crossing point here. They got a bridge in the works. All right, this is the northernmost point of the hike. This is the starting point, and from here on, it's straight south to Sentosa. Bye-bye, Malaysia. There's a crab hanging on the garbage. Leaving Woodlands Waterfront, right across the street you enter the jungle, the forest, and this is Admiralty Park. I hear sounds like a roller coaster at the playground. I need to see what this is. There's a lot of urban walking in this part of the hike, connecting from Woodlands to Mandai Road. But then from there, we enter a huge forest area in the center of Singapore. But Singapore is super pedestrian friendly. Everywhere has these park connectors. There's these paths you can ride, bikes, or walk across the whole island. So there's really nowhere that's super inaccessible. All right, now we're finally catching up to the forest. I don't know if I can film anymore after this. In case there's a forest fire in the middle of the jungle, they still have a fire hydrant. Got some wildlife reports here at this construction site. Spitting cobras, a colugo. I would love to see one of these. Some bees, turtles, and then I really want to find another reticulated python. I found a baby one at NTU when I was going to school here, but I'd like to see a bigger one out in the jungle. All right, making it to the zoo entrance. I think after this we're about halfway south. It's raining a little bit now, but it's not too bad, and it looks like it'll pass. So this area is a huge green area in the center of Singapore called the Central Catchment Reserve. I think this is where you'll find the most wildlife because it's the most concentrated amount of green space on the whole island. And they do have a Malayan tapir running around. I don't know if it's just one or a few, but they've been popping up on social media. And I don't expect to see one, but I think that would be the rarest wildlife you could find today in Singapore. So maybe there's a tapir hiding somewhere in these woods. Come across our first monkeys. And these are long-tailed macaques. Not the normal short-tailed ones you're finding all over Northeast Asia. Whoa! There's another one. The look back, you see that? Oh, there he is. So that's a Malayan blue coral snake. Oh, there he comes. It's raining quite heavily now, but the nice thing is the forest is so thick I can just step off the trail under a tree and you're relatively dry. So looks like wait about 10 minutes and then the rain will pass. Well, so much for the light storm. It is pouring now. I might just have to walk this in the rain. Well, there's nothing dry left on me. It is a rainforest. Not so bad. Once you're completely wet, it's not so bad. Pretty comfortable. Cool. Oh man, wet. It's turned into a completely different path. It's like a little river now. It's a creek. I kept reading the signs. It says prone to lightning strikes. The lightning just struck very close to here. That was terrifying. Super loud. I saw the white lightning come right down in the trees. Just like meters that way. Super loud. Hiking through Carmel Creek. I wish I could say that Quechua, is it Quechua? Decathlon's brand is the sponsor for today's video, but it's not. But this backpack is awesome. It's keeping everything inside dry while I'm hiking through this rainstorm. That's the only way I could wipe my hands dry enough to press record. My feet are soaked. Everything's soaked, except what's inside this bag. Didn't even know it was water resistant when I bought it. $6 Singapore. So we got to get through all this to get down to Bukit Timah. What a special bird, look at the tail. And now we're gonna end this part of the All Trails just after Bukit Timah, but that's just the halfway point of my hike. I gotta hike all the way to Sentosa. Never hiked on a trail like this before. All tree stumps the whole way. Just finishing our Dairy Farm Nature Park, almost at Bukit Timah, and I'm thinking I will go to the top because I'm going north to south. The highest point in Singapore is in the middle. Might as well make the stop. After I summit Bukit Timah, I'm going to focus more on gaining some distance because the sun is going down in 2 hours and I already know I'm going to get to Sentosa when it's dark, but I got a long way to go still and I'm not giving up. I think I can get there by 8 p.m. and then I'm going to have already decided a big curry dinner somewhere around there, probably Vivo City. Yes, the summit. Where's that rock? There's some rock. There it is. I stand corrected, 163 meters. The highest point in Singapore, Bukit Timah. and the halfway point of this hike. Take a rest. So here we are at the summit of Singapore, and now I gotta continue my hike to Sentosa. So there used to be a lot of tigers around Bukit Timah, and there were so many tiger attacks that the government gave out rewards of $20 for every tiger killed. And eventually, in such a small place like Singapore, all the tigers were gone. But if they were still here, today's hike would be a lot more dangerous. Just coming out of Bukit Timah, down the road there. Up here ahead should be the rail corridor, which I'm going to take all the way down. Because this is the rail corridor. This is the rail corridor. This is the railway. Cool. The old railroad. Oh, that's a parrot. The old train station. Malaya, 1963, when Singapore was still part of it. All one country of Malaya. Clementi Forest is so lush and green and wild. I gotta come back here. It's about 6:40. I think I can get to Sentosa by 8:30, another 2 hours. What is that? This is an eel. I think it came from there.
Yeah, yes, I came back for this because I was wondering if we just run across. Thanks for doing.
You could have just died right there. This is the end of my trip on the rail corridor. Bye-bye. Off to Telok Blangah. Heading back up into the forest. This time we're going to be in the treetops. Here we go. Henderson Waves, 2 kilometers. That's nothing. Up here at the top of the trees, there's nobody else up here right now. This is a super unique trail. Henderson Waves is closed. Well, gotta find a way around. Henderson Waves is open, but I have to do this big detour, and I've already come down from the hill. I don't want to go back up, and the forest is dark anyway, and I have a goal to be at Sentosa within an hour. I'm just gonna walk the city streets straight to Harborfront and finish this long walk off. Plus, Monster Curry at Vivo City closes by 10 p.m. There they are, the Henderson Waves. Made it to Vivo City. It's only 8:07. The bridge to Sentosa is right over there. I'm gonna make my goal 8:30. I did it. I mean, I almost did it. There's no way I'm gonna fail from this point. I walked across Singapore. The final walk. Southernmost point. Sentosa monorail. I'm gonna take that back to dinner. There it is. I knew it. I knew it'd be closed. Anyway, this is it, the southernmost point of continental Asia and the end of my walk. I did it. I made it across Singapore. So tired. I'm here at the end of my hike across Singapore from north to south at Palawan Beach. Started all the way at Woodlands Waterfront this morning at about 11:30 a.m. and now it's like 8:40 p.m. and I'm finishing here in Sentosa. The whole hike was like 38 kilometers and I stopped so many times along the way, so it's hard to tell how long it would take, but it took me 8.5 hours to get here. All right, my legs are dead. I'm gonna take the monorail back to Vivo City and get monster curry for dinner. Looking very much forward to sitting down. Across Singapore, yes. What is going on here? Because I finished walking across Singapore.